All right, here we go. I've got a bunch of Star Spangled War stories, 10 cents. We're going to start at issue number 69. Not in that great of shape, but wonderful cover, great colors. Jack Adler probably would have colored something like this. This was during his time. 10-cent issue, April 1958. The glare. Turn it there a little bit. We have machine guns firing there in the foreground. Him coming out in action, blazing away with his. Other gentleman in the background that's crash plane. The long step. Often these were written by Kanigher. He was very difficult to get along with and work with, I'm told. I'm just going to put these over here as I go through them, some of them anyway. The next one, we're going to read some dinosaur goodness because I really like the Suicide Squad and trying to get a complete collection of those in any kind of shape. I heard past the mid 60s, you're probably going to get in very good or very fine, or I'm sorry, very good or very good plus. Most of the war comics were well loved. By that I mean destroyed. This is number 72, and about, I mean, statistically speaking, check your Overstreet and see what it says. This is Silent Fish. This has a frogman, I guess from a boat firing on a Nazi destroyer or something, and he's trying to get out of the water before he gets hit. 10 cents. Some of these were probably gray tone, and if they were gray tone, they were Jack Adler issues. This is from August 1958. I gave $11.40 for it. This one's in a little better shape than that first one I showed you. But great price. These are hard to find in any kind of shape. I'd call this a good or less than good. It's also got a pencil mark there that makes an indentation that you can barely see off in a couple directions there, just a little bit. Got some breakage of color going on around on the corners there, and the spine needs a little love. But great war issues, great covers, great color, probably by the great Jack Adler. Number 93. This is the first one, I believe, that begins the sort of Suicide Squad. If they're not in this one, it's definitely a bizarre story because you have a giant Nazi trying to capture these miniaturized soldiers. Probably the two guys that were in the Suicide Squad. He's even wearing a Nazi ring. Some more 10-cent goodness. I gave $6.05 for it. Just trying to get the issues that I don't have the issue prior to when they were doing bizarre stories, and they were going to go to dinosaurs and other creatures like that, like giant chameleons and things. This isn't all of them that I have, but this is what I've got grouped together right now. Some more need love than others. I see a little moisture damage on this. This has a Triceratops, and he's throwing up a tank in the air, the Island of Thunder. Steel tanks battled dinosaur tanks in the war that time forgot. There for a good long run, they had the war that time forgot with the original Suicide Squad, which was two military men. This is number 98. I think I got that out of order. I showed you. Well, no, I showed the thumbnail was number 99. It's coming up next. Look how they just indicated the palm in the back and even the rocks just in purple and magenta with yellow grass and yellow sky. I mean, it's not colored by any means, but man, what a dramatic cover with that giant in 10 cent, big 10 cent there, small DC logo, uh, fairly good size approval code. I'd say that's a little bit larger than they were in the Bronze Age and stuff. And their DC logo changed over time. At this time, it says Superman top and this in magenta and DC in magenta, and on the production art it would on the color guides that would be different. I've seen blank, like if DC wasn't done in black, it just depends on what was saved. It wasn't done in black, then it might not even show up and it might just be blank there, but it was there just in another color and it's not on that layer. And then it says National Comics. They were known to National Comics, I think sometime in the 80s or 90s, they changed their name, officially to DC Comics, which I've heard stands for Detective Comics. One of the 4 big issues, they had Adventures and Fun Comics or More Fun Comics and another title. This is the one in the thumbnail, nice sort of pinkish magenta cover with what I would call a not a triceratops, a T-Rex attacking them, and there's 3 guys here, and one's holding onto the branch with its legs, and one's holding the other guy by the ankles. Well, the other guy losing his helmet and grabbing him by the waist and firing his machine gun at this big monster. The circus trio High Wire Stars finds itself in a startling act as it battles a circus of monsters. That's number 99, 10 cents. I got $19.46 in it. They say very good fine on that. You get a fine in one of these, then you got better than average, especially on their issues, the 10-cent issues that they started out in. Look at the purple leaving in the background, like I said, like a magenta, soft magenta pink, even a little pink around the mouth there. And you got, sort of lighter purple rocks in the background. The coloring on these wasn't realistic to life as much as like that tree in brown. And who knows what a really T-Rex looked like. Was he green like this? I don't know. Artists are depicting them with feathers, but look at those arms. I don't even think they're depicted, on a T-Rex. They're a lot smaller than that, but great, claws on that thing to be able to bend that tree. Little grease pencil on there. That could have been a designation for something. Could have been somebody put their initials on it so they know what it is. But it just shows it's been loved a little bit. Doesn't bother me that much. This one I need to rebag. It's got, I guess I got it from AT Comics. Who knows? It's a 3.0. Never expected a 100 million year old tank. And it's got a Stegosaurus pushing over the tank off the cliff into water. A new blockbuster. They always use on a lot of these a new blockbuster, from the battlefield that time forgot. These stories had different chapters in them. Same story though. War on Dinosaur Island. And there again, the Stegosaurus is orange. A little bit more realistic sky, light blue sky, and they do have the palm trees and things in the background. It's green and the water blue, but I've seen different color water too. Looks like the orange runs out about his feet, and he's kind of got yellow feet. The back, one of the front. So the coloring on that was kind of strange for those 2 feet. He's got one hind foot that's yellow and one in the front that's yellow, but the other 2 are orange. But he's pushing that tank over, and he's not gonna go down. It doesn't look like he's even hitting it, but you see the strikes on it. I don't know if that angle. Probably get it. You probably get him. That's just 105. So we do have some gaps, but these aren't all that I have. I don't really have these indexed yet. This one's in a little bit worse shape, but it's number 104. What I have, 105 there? Yeah, I got it a little out of order, but it's got some spine row. It's kind of off center there. The flying boots are cornered on Dinosaur Island on the Tree of Terror. Unless you can stop that dinosaur blockbuster, it'll dump us into the chasm. And a little bit of King Kong action going on there. You know, they're on a log and they're trying to stay on the log, and it's got a flying, one of those flying pterodactyls, something with a tail and mean looking head, and somebody kind of outlined it in pen there, unfortunately, but a little orange, yellow sky, and don't have any markings on this, what exactly, uh, I gave for it, or not much, in that condition, but, and then we got another pink, pink and sort of purplish, light purple cover. The foliage is green. The dinosaur is often just depicted as green. This is kind of a lime green, and you see he's chewing it up. It's got a little breakage of color there. Not a bad looking copy, but it does have a little moisture damage in there, and little dinks. But a lot of this would press out and look a lot better. I guess they say good condition. Um, it says they gave 1407 for it, and that's that one. Sort of a hammerhead like. He's going fire. How are you going to fire that? Oh, they're firing their machine guns, but the main gun's been taken out. I guess he needs his iron for the day. I don't know. But this is a great little run. It's ran for a few years there, uh, with the war that time forgot type stories. And, uh, you know, I'll take a run like that and say, man, that's an interesting little run. I'll try and complete that. And then when I complete that, I'll go on and get another, uh, you know, another set to collect. I've been trying to collect the X-Men, The Hidden Years by John Byrne. I've just need about one or two issues, and I'll have a complete collection of those. Sadly, I only had a few issues, so I said, well, there's only like 21, 22 issues. I think there was 21. Um, and I can complete that. So I've kind of been putting some money forward to that. Featuring the Suicide Squadron. They say squadron here, Suicide Squadron's mystery mission. Sink that seagoing blockbuster before it sinks us. And it's a PT boat. And he's the PT boat, and the guys are dumping out. But somehow the guns are still firing, so maybe some people are still on there. They beaming him right in the head, the other one beaming on the nose. Excuse me. This dinosaur would be gigantic. It would be Godzilla size, all red. So they had the first Devil Dinosaur, I guess. Devil Dinosaur was created by Jack Kirby and was a Marvel comic. If you don't know, that's 12 cents. We jumped at 12 cents on that. I gave $5.09 for it. But wow, what a cover. Come on, man. Star Spangled War stories. It wasn't just war. They battled creatures like that during this time. Those are the ones I prefer, but I have a friend, if it's war or anything, he likes it. But yeah, and that other one was 12 cents before this. So we shift quickly from 10 cents to 12 cents. There was more good coffee. There was more 12 centers than there was 10 cents run. So, it ran up to about the mid 60s. Here he's picking up a submarine, and you have Arctic gear on there, dinosaur subcatcher. Some of these I had production artwork too. Latest incredible battle tale from the war that time forgot. That was the little subtitle, War That Time Forgot. I like it. Arctic scene. It looks like they've woke up this duck-billed platypus type dinosaur, and look at that claw. He's picking up the sub of one, but look at that claw. That's a claw. Opposable thumb finger, but got the other claws in a dramatic pose and toes over the edge of the ice. They're firing at him. He looks so tiny. Look how big the sub is compared to him. These would be gigantic, Godzilla size. I got $5.09 for that. Probably just a few years ago. So But, quality on these, and look at the streaking. He probably Jack Adler probably did this. He was a painter. He liked to paint. And just just look at the rays, I did the orange and the red and the red and the orange and the yellow background, with a streaking painterly effect. And of course, if you had a gray tone cover, I guarantee you it was done by Jack Adler. All those gray tone GI combats. Uh, he was a colorist and for DC and the archivist, and hired and fired a bunch of people. He hired Neil Adams, and sadly, I don't know all who he hired, but let's see, this team, little bitty 12 center. I mean, it's just a brand new tale of war that time forgot. Got a couple of, got an aquatic dinosaur coming up and grabbing the bottom of the helicopter leg. And if you don't give these brutes lead, indigestion will wind up as a sandwich. Well, the pterodactyl like thing, and this one doesn't have a tail, just has a stub. The only combat area when a GI can end up as sea rations in battle dinner for dinosaurs. These had some incredibly, we would look at them as lame, titles today, but a vicious looking, I don't know if you call it a pterodactyl, but I mean, just, both of them have teeth. Again, not realistically colored, at least the aquatic one jumping up out of the water, but great contrast between the magenta colored, pinkish light colored, magenta, out of the green water with a little blue in there. And then, sort of a yellow ochre color for the pterodactyl or whatever, but a little bitty scent, usually it's bigger than that. Got the little Superman, National Comics, DC logo. Again, usually Superman in magenta and the DC, and a pretty big authority code there on the corner. Just going to do a quick stream here. I did big long art, over 2 hours on the art stream. If you like Conan the Barbarian, I featured a lot of Conan, John Buscema, early preliminary drawings on that. It's the one with the little Herculoids thumbnail on it. Like some Conan goodness, cutting heads and stabbing people in the guts. Go see that one. That's a longer one. I wasn't expecting to put so much production artwork, and I've got original and production artwork in that one, and that's original and production artwork. Consider both. This is Star Spangled War, and the 12 is all the way over here on the binding. 117. You have a pterodactyl hatching out of an egg, and then this other creature wants to come by and get some yum yum, and doesn't matter if he's going after the pterodactyl, it looks like, who's coming out fully realized and not shaky out of the egg at all. He looks like he's ready to fly and get the heck out of there, not be gulped up. This is a Joe Kubert cover, and it is signed Joe Kubert there, not printed. But introducing Baby Dino, the monster who saves GIs instead of swallowing them, and Metal for a Dinosaur. And this wasn't the only story. You'll see this is the first appearance, I think, of this character. This baby dino that's being hatched there befriends them, maybe thinks they're mama and papa. And you got this, I don't know, chameleon-like, lizard-like thing wanting to eat it. And it's, why? I want to get out of here. Like it's got a little volcano in the background, because they're high up the vantage point, but they're firing at him, and he makes this pterodactyl baby dino, they're calling it here, makes a other appearances in later issues. I don't know if he'll be on the cover. We'll see. Old books before I was born. How about that one? This one has, somebody took a ink pen, and X'd it out. Pretty good shape. Another Hubert has another chameleon like a dinosaur. He loved doing dinosaurs, drawing dinosaurs. I don't know. Kind of got this one in an oversized bag, maybe a golden age. Um, the plane eater, and he's lashed out with his tongue, and they're going down. The latest from the war that time forgot. Number 118. That is Joe cover. Wow, look at the color. And Joe Kubert and the colorist, the great colorist that's little known, Jack Adler, were really good friends. And in fact, when Joe Kubert was going to start the Kubert School, he asked the Joe Kubert School in New Jersey, he asked, uh, drawing a blank, Jack Adler to, come in as partners with him in that. And Jack may have lived out on the West Coast. I'm not, or the Eastern. He didn't want to do it, and it never happened. But he could have been, one of the original starters and teachers and professors at the Kubert School, which a lot of CG artists like Andy Smith and Patrick Parnell and Graham Nolan and others went to. Shane Davis, they went to the Kubert School. I almost went to the Kubert School myself. I was looking into it even as a kid in 1970 and still have some of their uh, promotional packets. But I never did it. I never wanted to go to New Jersey. I don't know how Ethan lives there. But anyway, 119, we got a purple, pinkish, we got a Brontosaurus this time. He's orange. Again, another tank crew. So shout out to Tank Ferret. We got some great tanks on these. That thumbnail have a tank. I don't think it does. I should have put the tank one on there. He would have go, ooh, yeah, I like tanks. He used to be in the military in the tank crew. And this is the one. Well, no, this isn't the one. This is another Joe Kubert. And this is featured on you can get these in the showcase books. They may be out of print. There's a little light fading up here on the magenta, and it's a little damage. Not bad, though. I mean, it's a complete issue, 124. Not much breakage of color. That one cut that I like how they just indicated by color, no line on the palm trees back here. Another tank cover where he's popping up on the bridge, the wooden bridge, and the guy's trying to fend him off, and other guys are on the bridge back there. But look back there, the trees just in lime green by his neck. No, they just indicated it by color. But yeah, what a down shot. He's trying to hang on for dear life, and that thing's coming up, knocking the tank through. Look how they framed in there, and just diagonal, and then come on, man, that's great design. My buddy was a killer dinosaur like that at a diagonal, and then a battle tale so fearful it can only be the raving of a soldier after shattering combat. But could like, heavily in bold type, could and truth at the end of it. But could this madman be telling the truth? I don't know who did the lettering, but I hope that's coming in. You can see it pretty good there. And then, the cover on one of the showcase issues, there might have only been one. I can't remember. There might have been 2 volumes that covered all the dinosaur Suicide Squad stuff. It might not have that giant one though that has the Nazi symbols and the Nazi helmet trying to, starting out. It might not have that issue. I don't think it does. Just the ones that had dinosaurs in there. I'd have to go back and look. It's been a while since I've looked at those, but here's number 125. This very bulky looking, another tank cover. Very, I'll just Twitter you, Tank Ferret, and make sure you know that I put all these great tank covers on there. Tidbit for a Tyrannosaurus, a his arms look pretty big, and he's got spur on his elbow there. Another little separate claw and a little separate claw on his ankle there. A battle tail shocker from the Secret War. Wow, Secret Wars. Oh, I had to put an S on there, and they had the Secret Wars and Suicide Squad. So DC and Marvel. That no one will admit in being fought. Yeah, they think you crazy. Special surprise bonus tail. They don't. Maybe it's the dinosaur tail. But yeah, again, they frame in, in red sky. I mean, the urgency. They're peppering him in the face, but you see the spur on his elbow. It's all kind of grayed out, and then it's big nail on his leg there, on the side of his leg. That's kind of unusual. And they do say it's a Tyrannosaurus. Wow. And I'm a T-Rex. My name is Rex, so I've, kind of nicknamed T-Rex to a certain degree, and that and other will not be mentioned. This is Ross Andru and Mike Esposito. Mike Esposito inked a lot of Ross Andru early on and later in the 70s. Even when they went over to Marvel, they were like a team. This is a gorilla cover, and DC and DC especially. This is a Joe Kubert cover, and this one they may skip this one because it doesn't deal with dinosaurs. It deals with Sergeant Gorilla. And this is a classic checker top cover, 12 center. Little bit of loss of color around the 126, maybe. I think 126. You can't pin a medal on a gorilla. But firing at the gorilla, almost like it's firing at his crotch there. But Joe Kubert's got his little signature down there. In the early days, and like on his Golden Age Hawkman and things like that, he just signed it Kubert. His signature changed over time. I don't know if you can see that little signature there in the corner, but his signature changed, and he settled on the style that he used at the Kubert school. That which he probably put the most signatures like that on, but this one's omitted, I believe, out of the showcase. So a good one to get. I gave $7.38. That's April, May 1966. So that'll give you number 126. I did write it on the back. It's got a little damage there, and it's kind of hard to read. I thought it was, but I want to tell you right on these. All right, just finishing up the stack here in a little bit. Another checker top cover. My enemy is 100 million years old. The Suicide Squad's sensational smash. They were called the Suicide Squadron, on that one issue, I think that's what I said, and they kind of shortened it Suicide Squads. But this is the original Suicide Squad. Got a vicious looking green pterodactyl. This one does have a green tail hanging down. And another red background cover is toward the back off of a bomber. That's a bomber just by the, if you're military, you probably really know, but you got guns sticking out the back and the front. And that's what they did, a little observation on the back. And then you have the not jet fighter, but the fighter, blasting him from behind, trying to get him off the doomed crew of the bomber. American symbol on the side, star, checker top cover. People like these checker top covers. Really like this era with the checker top covers in the mod 60s. I like this one. It's missing a corner. It is a checker type cover, but it is missing a corner, which kind of distracts from it. I believe this is an early Nick Cardy cover. Wouldn't swear to it, but big house of monsters. Yeah, not even giant savage beasts halt the two soldiers' private war in the Starling big house of monsters. They like to put the title right there on the cover. and you'd open it up, and right there on the splash page usually would be, if I remember right. It looks like he's bending over a tree because you don't get to see the bottom of him. But look at the scaling on him, and again, not realistically colored. Uh, he's red, little magenta in the mouth, little pink. Show the fleshy parts. Guys like, wow, look at that face. You know, that's how I identify it just by looking. It's the face, who the artist did. I gave $6.94. Unfortunately, it is missing that corner, but you're not missing much. A little bit of tree, a little bit of checker top. Still, these things were well loved. You know, um, you're not likely to get them. They're they're hard to find. You know, unless you want to shell out some money for and overpay on some. You know, me, I just want examples of them. You know, and then I'll try and upgrade. I think this is another. Well, yeah, Russ Heath. He and this one back there and kind of worked it into the land work. The other guy's going, wow, too. Yeah, he's got him with his tail this time. Looks like almost like a brontosaur. It Brontosaurus. It's stepping on his Jeep, totaling his Jeep out. He's losing his helmet, and he's, of course, all these guys have machine gun. If I went into combat, I'd want a, you know, nice gray tone looking color in the background. Again, not really realistic. They were just pretty solid colors, sort of oranges, ochre, like a ground. You do have the foliage here and here in green. The GI burned with a single blazing thought: you owe me a death, yours. Uh, Again, great expression on there, like, oh, I'm about to be eaten. But you know, Russ Heath would put lesser, no really scaling on this, but great hatching lines, you know, showing the musculature of the tail and the and down the backbone here, because he is kind of craning his head back. You know, he's got him caught in his tail, which I don't even think was possible, but who cares? What a driver. If comics look like this today with war as big as that, kids would buy it if it's on the stands. I know I would. And I'm not a huge war fan, you know, more superhero oriented, but you know, I'd buy this with big kaiju. Look at that Jeep. It's just totaled. You can just look at that and play that scenario out. He had a very fine line, you know. Nick Cardy did a lot of stuff in the Bronze Age, did a lot of covers for DC, a lot of their horror or mystery magazine covers. This one's got another PT boat. John F. Kennedy had a story about the time that his PT boat in World War II was wrecked, and they even put it in a combat number 4. So look that up. It's got a John F. Kennedy cover of him in with his service hat on and service uniform. He was the captain of a PT boat, like it's depicted here. This is a little bit of gray tone cover, just a little bit on the boat, you know, on the bottom of the boat. I call this a partial gray tone cover. And so that tells me, you know, the master of gray tone on these great war books. And it was mainly on the war books that Jack Adler did them, but he also did them on the Sea Devils. A lot of the Sea Devils past issue 20, you know, was still using gray tone on certain of the covers. But this is Russ Heath, another great Russ Heath, and they're on, you know, the rocks there. But yeah, that's what a PT boat looks like, being grabbed by a giant dinosaur. Look at that, even at an angle, that's in the swishing of the water. I mean, you know, in the red sky again, eye popping colors, basically, you know, secondary or primary colors. A little bit of mix going on. I love that they used, you know, magenta again, like in the logo up there in the DC, and that Superman was in there. They wanted you to know, hey, this this same people, DC, that National Comics. Let's see, Neil Adams art in this later issue. So wow, what issue is that? Yeah, I put gray tone cover here, partial gray tone cover, but gray tone cover. Yeah, I mean if it's got some, and then it's on the bottom of the boat there, and it's kind of dark. You do it with grays, you can get some grainy, photo. He was John. Jack Adler was a photographer as well. And anyway, $4.96. I have Action Comics #1 photograph, maybe from the original artwork. I don't know. It's from first splash page there of Superman's story. There's a photograph of it. I'll have to show in another stream. Spangled war stories, war big, with some dimension to it. Again, red and orange background, picking up a sub that's tore off the main, the observation deck on top of a sub with the guys in it. And they're firing away. They're always firing, trying to fight back. They were dead men the moment they landed on Monster Island, but their orders still had to be carried out. Fight to the last. And I see that this corner is a little bent over, so I'm going to have to, correct that. We don't want to put it and keep it in the bag like that. 137 again, orange and black. Look at the dramatic. And I would say, Nick Cardy probably did this one too. Looking for a signature, but can't really. But yeah, some of these latter ones Nick Cardy did. But just bam, war with all the red and orange around it and the big dinosaur. And you're like, I don't even see what he's doing, but it looks interesting. I mean, if comics look like this today, I mean, come on, folks, look at that. That's a beautiful piece of artwork. And comics are a unique art form that was created by the Americans. A little corner there, so I'm going to put this one right here and correct it after the stream. Okay, just a couple, one more to go. Probably another, it's another copy of this, and that corner's down. I don't any better shape, but it's same thing. Gave $4.96 for that one. There you go. There's a nail. Two of them. Not these, but yeah, I will be doing giveaways too. So, if you DM me, if you send me a message in Twitter, I'll be giving away some stuff. I've got, I may be giving away, Tuesday on Pop XP, I may be giving away a signed Billy Tucci She book that I had to confer that I didn't actually buy them, but I bet you my friend will donate one for a giveaway. Since I make an appearance there, maybe we'll do a giveaway to the chat. I've got some other stuff, extra books and stuff like that. Well, but I'm kind of like Cecil. I give you some books. Won't give away the farm, but I'll give away a few animals. So till next time, peace and take care. And I hope you enjoyed all these great war / kaiju / giant dinosaur, chameleon, pterodactyl, a little bit of a giant Nazis. I hope you enjoyed. I mean, look at that, man. Come on. Look at the color. Things are great. And it's, short span of time there. Get you a run like that. The first Golden Age books that I got, I thought I want a lot of characters. So I got I want to say Young Men, which was an early 50s Atlas, and it had Bucky, and it had in the middle, it had, I don't think they staggered them. I can't remember. It had Submariner, it had Bucky and Captain America. You know, Bucky was his sidekick, and Toro, which was the Human Torch's sidekick, and it had Toro and the Human Torch in there. So I was getting a lot, two sidekicks and three heroes that were part of the All Winter Squadron, and the three big ones. You know, Captain America, Submariner, and Human Torch at that time. And uh, I met John Ramada Sr. in 1985 and 86. Met him and his wife in 86, Virginia, and met his son too that latter year. And I took four of them out of five. I couldn't find the fifth issue. The next year that I went in '96, I did find, and I could have got it autographed, but I didn't. And they've been destroyed anyway in my fire, but my first collection. But really sad. Well, I don't know. They may have been in a box that I didn't get to retain, but I had a Batman #7 in there too that I would have loved to have shown you. But and I've got a story about that one too that I tell on one of these streams, I'm sure. But I'll say that for another time. Mistakes that you make in collecting, and I made a big one with a Batman #7. That's my teaser to make you come back. You never know what you're going to hear out of me. You know, I might go on a tangent, but yeah, got a lot of history in comics. Enjoyed it. You know, grew was a monster kid before, but not really. I mean, I watch monster cartoons, but I mean, you know, Johnny Quest, the Herculoids. I've got my last stream was on the Herculoids. I got some Alex Toth. Um, you know, the reproductions, but of the model sheets for Herculoids. Check that out. That's a longer stream because, like I said, I've got some Conan, John Bassine, my Conan on there. I've got some Bill Black production artwork, some stuff that was never published or was replaced with another cover that they went with instead of it, and it was never published. Got a little bit in, or just penciled in, and was going to be, but they never came out with another issue. Love to watch unpublished artwork or see the stuff of what it could have been. You know, um, it's just, and I've loved to. Again, I love to change up. I put a lot of Spidey stuff up for these streams. You probably have some of those first, second, and third printings. And I've got the one that was in I forget the one in Walmart. I got one of those coming too. But and then I got the Spidey second annual there, and I've got the giveaway that was like a detergent giveaway, and then the other one's just the Marvel Tales, but it's got all the same covers, and I've got a print of that too, of that classic Ditko cover that was from the second Spidey cover, and maybe we'll show these off at least in a grouping. Got other good stuff back there too. You never know what I'm gonna pull out of the treasure chest the next time. Probably won't stream another one tonight, but you never know. Had a great chat in last time. Doesn't look like I have anybody in yet now. Haven't got any Russian bots or trolls, so that's good. So no news is good news on that. I know some other people are streaming, and my channel is not well known yet. So hit the like, hit the subscribe button if you like my content. If you don't like my content, you don't like comics. And I'm not just going to cover comics. I'm going to do some, as I said in my other stream, I'm going to show some toys. Nothing special about the toys, but they are all Godzilla. I do have some Creature of the Black Lagoon. Of course, I've got some autographs. I have a couple original autographs and photos of Creature of the Black Lagoon, and signed by one of the guys that wore. There was two guys that wore the suit, and be showing some Creature of the Black Lagoon. And I've got my favorite, King Kong. Now Godzilla, I'm going to have to get Graham Nolan over here because he likes Godzilla over King Kong. I don't know what's wrong with him, but we agree to disagree on that. Kong was the first big monster in movies. How can you not love that? They came up with 9 different processes to make that movie. I mean, it is made. I mean, you wouldn't have Star Wars without King Kong. Some people might disagree with that. No, I'm telling you, they really developed filmmaking in that, and Charlie Chaplin did too. I'm a big study of silent movies. Billy Tucci and I have that in common. We like silent movies. We like early pre-code horror movies like Jekyll and Hyde with Frederick March and other great movies like that. But I like the old silent Barrymore too. Um, Drew Barrymore's great grandfather. But and then in It's a Wonderful Life, you had another Barrymore, his brother, John's brother, play Mr. Potter, of Potterville. But anyway, um, I could stream on forever, but I'm going to make this short one. We're about 56 minutes. So until next time, and I drudge up some others. I just happened to see this stack and said, hey, that'd be a good stream. And if I can get today, that'd be wonderful. So sorry I didn't have anybody in the chat this time, but as the channel grows, I thank everybody. I did have, excuse me, over 33, I think, or 35 subscribers on the very first day. So thank you, CG crowd. And until next time, as I said, peace and keep collecting, especially those war books with dinosaurs. And we'll see you later.